Oh, Anthony's gonna be late, so we're gonna have to take him in late.
I've already started recording locally this time.
Okay. We'll work you in once you arrive.
And now I want to put something onto the side that says what our roles are. And also, Kit wants to have us intro our characters a little bit and tell people how we charge and
And how we what?
made our characters.
Oh, okay, how you character gened. Okay, yeah. Uh, yeah, we could do that.
But first, let me go ahead
I
and
did
make.
wanna open up with I was gonna announce your characters and let everybody know about what your role and your names were and everything, and maybe have you guys tell a little bit about your character again because we'll have to rehash that since we lost the first episode. Um, so we're gonna get our fourth person pretty late today because he's unfortunately running behind. So we're just gonna go ahead and start off first. First, we'll get recording when you're doing it live and recording. I will go ahead and start off with the apology for losing the last episode.
I'm gonna apologize because I'm the one who lost the episode.
We're a team.
Okay.
We get all the successes and the losses together. So
Well, I'm gonna make a GDI window here. I guess Arial
so
can be the font.
so you just give me a countdown when you're ready, Alana, and when you hit the record button, we'll get started.
Do you
No,
see
Time
we
to
me? Can
record.
you hear me?
we still got huh?
Hear me?
I can now hear you. Yeah, I could not hear you except for just a moment
Okay,
ago.
because I'm okay. Well, I wasn't talking. I'm just looking at my phone and it's not telling me that I'm in the chat.
That's weird.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay.
As
Well,
long
you're
as
in
it
it
works.
on our end.
Yeah, as long as it works. Don't touch nothing. Don't touch nothing. It's working. Don't.
I'm just ready to back up because I'm having enough technical difficulties on the computer that I'm preparing my phone in case.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna press the start streaming button. I've already been recording. We can cut it
Oh,
from the
okay.
beginning.
We just lost Raleigh. Let's give him a second.
Oh, I'm just grabbing my pen out of my briefcase. I'm
Okay.
picky, so I literally have. Oh yeah, I just
All
have
right,
this
we'll
little
get
box of
started
knife
then.
pens.
Just let me know when.
Okay. I started streaming and I'm gonna go bring it up over here to make sure that we are rolling. Browser window is what I need now. Where'd my browser go?
I'm here, Judge. I'm ready to go forward. I am a fox.
Yes, I am. I am very much a fox. All right, there we go. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he said he's going to be 20 minutes late, so he's probably going to roll in either last during descriptions of you guys' characters, or I'm going to have to just let him
Okay.
do a little bio as soon as he pops in. So we'll break from game just for a moment so you can do that.
Yep. Stream's going. Let me, and people can hear me over there, but I wonder if the rest of the stream can hear me. But actually, I'm not worried about that yet. Right now, I want to get everybody's characters' names and type them up here and what our roles are.
Excellent. I was going to announce it anyway. We've got Anthony playing Drifter, the RC truck. His role is outsider.
Anthony RC Truck Drifter. Man,
We've of
he goes
course.
into all of the turns and whoosh, the back wheels are like.
All right, did you get all that?
I got Anthony so far.
Okay, and then we've got, of course, you, Elena, Socks the Fox, as an Undersider.
And I am plush fox undersider. We got Anthony. And who's next?
All right, then we've got Raleigh playing Maid, the utility knife.
Okay,
And
how do you
Maid,
spell that?
I believe it's Made, because I have an idea where he got that, or what
I
he's going.
mean, I mean Raleigh.
Oh, Raleigh.
Yeah.
RALIEGH.
Okay, Raliegh. And a utility knife.
Yep, he's Made, the utility knife, and Made is a broken.
But he's
And
still very effective.
the next one.
It's the most effective broken tool I've seen. And then we have, of course, Cat playing Raindrop the doll, and she is a roamer whose special ability should come into play this game, uh, barring unforeseen circumstances. You players always throw, strange curveballs, so we'll
And
see.
that's who we got here so far. Let's hit
All right.
OK. I'm going to rescale this because it takes up the whole darn screen. And put it over somewhere down here.
I know I mentioned to you guys before, but our RC truck is running a little late, but he will be here, and as soon as he does, I will have him add a little to his bio. But why don't we start with Alana, Socks the Fox, and you can kind of give the players an idea, a little bit of your history, whatever you feel like unveiling.
Okay, first of all, um, there was supposed to be a recording of the last session, and since I'm the technical on this stream, um, well, I messed it up. I forgot to record, so I'm sorry to everybody. So that's one of the reasons we're going to go over our characters again.
It's
Um,
probably my fault. I was distracting her. So,
so, um, and also we're going to have this thing in the corner now where it shows what our various roles are. And I'm actually going to go ahead and make that transparent in the back so that it's not as distracting. Background opacity. Woo. Come on, go down.
okay. And what would you like to tell the viewers potential about your character, Socks?
Uh, well, my character Socks has actually been found by her owner, who's also a girl. Um, well, she's actually a adult, but um, Socks was actually stolen by a ex-girlfriend, and she actually got brought back, eventually reacquired after several months. So she was heartbroken for her keeper was heartbroken for a very long time and cried her eyes out once she was able to get Socks back.
Does that have some tie-in to Socks's purpose of making
Yes,
sure
and
she
a
can
tie.
solve those who are feeling down?
Yep, and a tie into her stuff, which is tears.
Excellent. Well, that actually pretty well rounds off Socks. Let's have Raleigh take the spotlight and tell us about Made the utility knife.
Yeah, Maid is a pocket-sized utility multi-tool, not just a bladed knife, but a full-on multi-tool, who used to get carried around everywhere that the man went and was used all the time for any and every possible task until one day he slipped out of the man's pocket and was run over by the man's car, which ruined him horribly. The man found him as he returned home from wherever he went that day, and looking at his destroyed condition, decided he would be good for one thing, and he stuffed a lion-headed padlock key into the top of him and threw him in a drawer. That way he could just use him to keep track of the padlock key, but he had no idea what that key would do when he put it in there. Years later, it seems, some time later, Maid managed to open up the drawer and find the house he was in completely abandoned, dark, and disheveled.
All right. Maid's purpose is to be useful, and we've actually we lost the episode, but I'm sure we'll see plenty more hijinks in which he will continue to perform well for the group and giving them tools and help. Kat, tell us a little bit about Raindrop the doll.
Raindrop is a handmade doll, and she was confidant of her girl. And when the girl and her family went on a vacation, unfortunately, they stopped at a roadside, had a, had a picnic, and somehow or the other, Raindrop got left behind. When they left, the girl couldn't find her, and they had to leave, and that's where Raindrop got left behind.
All right. Uh, tell us a little bit about Raindrop's purpose again. I believe it is to listen.
Raindrop's purpose to live, because she
We're
is
losing a
the
lot on Cat there.
confidant of the girl. I'm sorry, I had to move to my phone because my computer's not reliable.
No problem.
Connect to the
We'll
internet.
go ahead and forge ahead. I'm going to
It
try to do what I can
Um,
from here too. Um, but let's see. Don't switch. Not yet. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and move back to the story. If you guys remember correctly, you were in a relatively small room of the house, but for your characters, it's still cavernous. There's an enormous porcelain bowl and an even larger porcelain basin that stretches almost from horizon to horizon. From especially from Maid's view, he's a very small object, and what you have come across in escaping a cat that was attempting to do you some serious harm is you've come across a small yellow duck within this room. But before you came to this point, I'd like to kind of rehash a little bit about what happened up to this point because we did lose the previous episode. So let's recap a little bit. You started off Socks, Maid, Raindrop, and Drifter, all showing up at relatively the same time in a large open area that was a combination of compact and loose dirt, with some strange rubbery pieces here and there and wood chips thrown about. And in this area, lit by the full moon, because it is quite late at night at this point, your characters found an amalgam of strange devices, towering metal structures that you didn't recognize. And while you were all kind of trying to take all this in, you met each other in your exploration, and Socks, Maid, Raindrop, and Drifter started to speak to one another. At this point, actually, the quiet one was Raindrop. She was doing really well at her purpose of just listening. And after they had spoken for a little bit, they were approached by another Widdershin. A small, roundish beanbag had rolled over to them and introduced herself quite cordially as Grandbean. And Grandbean had invited them to come to their home, letting them know that they had, in fact, lucked upon a Widdershin community. So they followed Grandbean, and underneath a large metal octagonal structure, they had found uh, through an entry and the pole up underneath the octagonal structure, they had found a dwelling that was built underground. And there, in houses made out of things like milk cartons and overturned boxes and pails, they had found Wettershin, quite a few of them. Before they could really settle into this new community and get to know their neighbors, though, they were, through the course of conversation, they had come to realize that uh, they had some problems here. And one of them was regarding the bin. The bin, as they found upon traveling back up to the surface and out to the outskirts of what was called the grounds, is a towering mountainous green thing. Uh, from one side to the other, and from the ground almost to the ceiling of the heavens, they could see just green and metal. They had used a combination of useful trinkets and effort to scale the side of the bin. Yes, this is this is where I can see you making the sign there. Maid came in really useful here. Also, Drifter, who offered a grappling device as well. And once they had scaled over the side of the bin, they went down to get the one that had been said to have fallen in the bin or been placed there by an errant child. Because apparently, sometimes the Widdershins in this community like to get caught on purpose to try to get the children to take them home. But unfortunately, whoever had picked up Tin, the robot, had thrown him into the bin. And there, in the refuse, Socks the Fox managed to find him, and they used their lines and teamwork to pull him free. Returning Ten back to his community and getting a ample flow of congratulations and thank yous from Grand Bean, they were told about another mission that they could help with, and that was to find another missing person. This one, they didn't know where she had gone, only a guesswork as to where she might have gone. Apparently, a very beloved doll named Anne had gone missing. They were told that they might find Anne in a house with green lattice work. So, our bold entrepreneurs had begun their way over to the Great Road in order to make their way to the lines of houses where the folk dwell. However, on the way there, they had decided, in a display of camaraderie, that they would name themselves a small cell that they would call the Dream. So, they are literally the Dream Team. And as they made their way to the road, they noticed. I believe, in fact, it was Socks the Fox with her acclamation to the dark, who had
Yeah.
noticed the thing passing overhead, a dark silhouette passing over the group. It had wings and large, luminescent eyes that bore down on them from above. It was completely silent, though, and it passed by without incident. After this, the group began a dangerous and somewhat comical attempt to get across the street, in which, pulling their efforts, uh, Drifter waving his rally flag, and the group just tearing as fast as they could across that street and Raindrop looking through her special button eyes to see if she could find or try to see if she can see if anyone was coming. They managed to avoid traffic and no one was squashed, which is excellent because we don't want to get squashed. So they made it across the highway, and once there, they then had to go through the effort of finding out which house was the right one. After a lot of discussion and some random wandering around and a great deal of luck, they came across the house that they thought they might need, a house with green lattice over a red rose bush. Chance continued to favor them, as they noticed that there was a door that some of the group had recognized as being a door for animals to pass through the house, likely pets of the people.
Hmm.
They went through this door with varying degrees of success. And by varying, I mean most of the group was fairly quiet, and Socks was very quiet, and Drifter was very not quiet. So after making a loud clattering noise, in which he rolled several times over the hard tile floor, they seemed to have alerted something. They were then attacked by a vicious animal, a beast, towering over them like a building in size, a cat, which proved to be rather a bit of an antagonist to the group. So We arrived full circle to where I had started. In which case, the valiant maid had shot an object at the cat, hitting it directly in the eye. In fact, he was fairly certain that should have killed it. But the cat, it turned its face at the last possible second. Maybe it was struck, maybe it wasn't. And with a large yowl, it had leapt over a nearby table and disappeared. Now, the group has crawled under the door for this room with the porcelain bowl and porcelain basin, where they found this duck, this little yellow duck, who had excitedly, when asked, given his name as Squeaks. Squeaks was just telling the group, who were asking as to the location of Anne, that Anne was likely, if anything, to be in the girls' room. But Squeaks, unfortunately, has never left the bathroom, according to himself. And he was warning the group as we left off that there might be danger in approaching the room. Excellent. It looks like we might just be getting Anthony at this point in time, in which case we will have him introduce Drifter as well. So as I
Hey,
mentioned
sorry I'm
before,
late.
there we go. I'm going to turn that off.
Perfect timing.
Sorry I'm late.
Oh, no problem. We're going to just go ahead and forge forward. I went ahead and gave a recap since we had lost the previous episode. I actually just worked right back up to where the Squeaks the Duck is, and you arrived just on time to go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about Drifter.
Hey, I'm Drifter. I'm actually an RC truck. Um, I belong to a boy, and he lost me in the woods with a stunt gone wrong. Before that, we used to go on all sorts of adventures, driving his army men around, superheroes, everything you can think of. So now I'm trying to find my way home.
All right. Tell us a little bit about Drifter's purpose.
My purpose is, I've always been part of a team, so I transport the team on their missions, and that's what I'm good at. I drive.
Drifter has actually several times been useful to the team in this capacity. In fact, most of them were riding in his truck bed when they crossed the dangerous street. All right. Well, as I was just mentioning just before Anthony arrived, Squeaks the Duck has just told you that Anne is most likely in the girls' room, and that if you wish to find Anne, you will need to venture forth, but there is danger, and that is where we left off.
What kinds of danger?
There is a vicious beast, he squeaks. Each time he jumps up and then back down, he squeaks out a word with a tinny whistle.
Maid looks at the others with a look of like, do you think it was the one that we just dealt with? Like a
Does it
recognition.
does it
I
have
don't
Yes,
know.
these?
he was.
Does it have these big, glowy, greenish eyes and these little fuzzy little ears? And is it a
I have,
cat?
I have seen the cat before. He is truly terrifying, and he has come into this sacred place before, but I hunkered down in safety, and fortunately, he's shown no interest in me.
Hmm.
I've heard the people talk about him. They have they have words, a name for him, a dire name.
What?
They call him El Gato.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds scary.
Yes, me neither. Yes, it's terrifying.
I shot the cat.
You did what? Oh,
The little
I hope,
crossbow pops out. I shot it.
I hope
It
you have
ran
not,
away.
I hope you have not earned his undying hatred with such an action. It is said that El Gato has 9 lives.
Well, I'm on life 2 at the least, so I don't know how many I have though.
The squeaker duck just shakes its head.
Could we go find the room? Maid kind of looks to the others.
Well, I'll take you where we need to
That's
go.
what we're here for.
Do you know if there's any places? No, you've never left. You said that.
It is safe in here.
I like it here.
You can stay. I need friends. I don't sound desperate, do I?
I don't think
A little. Do you want to leave and come with
that's
us?
okay.
No, it's scary out there.
We found a place where our Widdershins are safe. We could take you there, away from El Gato.
Oh no, but then the girl. I need to be here for bath time.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
All right, the duck kind of wiggles its body. You imagine like maybe the drawn on wing is like waving at you, rippling just a little bit maybe. Well, good luck. I hope you all don't die.
Stream.
Thanks. Bye
Then it
bye.
then it kind of squeak hops back towards the large porcelain basin, and with an impressive leaps all the way to the top.
Wow.
All right, I am going to assume that your group is making their way out of the bathroom at this point. Um, what do you do upon
Yes.
going under
Can
the
I
door?
look under the door before we go? Can I
There
look
you
under
go.
the door before we go to make sure the coast is clear?
All right. Raindrop very carefully sticks her head under the door to look around. Fortunately, no large paw full of claws meets her. The coast is clear.
And I don't hear anything?
She listens very carefully. Make a check, and if you're successful, I will give you one stuff.
Oh, I forgot to grab my dice. Eek! Hang on, I'll be right back.
All right. While she's sorting out her dice, is anybody else wanting to do anything at the door?
Mm,
I guess I do
Um,
have a question at this point for the padlock key. Do I have to be able to reach the actual lock in order to unlock something? Or like if this door were to be locked, could I just will it to be opened and because of my key it would unlock and open?
If you touch the door with the key, you get the feeling that you'll be able to open it.
Oh, I would just lean my head forward up against the door because my head is the lion head is the part top of the key. Just lean up against the door and will it to crack open a little bit. Not all the way, just a little bit.
You realize the door wasn't actually locked, but it does open to the power of your key. Uh,
I
make sure.
failed my check.
Okay. Make sure if there is a your chance increases when you fail the check. Also, make sure you if there's a stuff cost for using your key that you spend it. And the door swings open slowly.
I was going to use my bappy paws on that, but that might have made too much noise.
It's very quiet. It opens very quietly. And as far as the sound, you heard nothing, nothing at all.
Do I see anything at all through the now that the door is open wide enough for all of us to fit through it? And just kind of leaning out and looking around a little better. Is there anything out there?
All right, you're also looking around to see if there's anything outside the door.
I
You
actually would probably turn to Fox and ask Fox to look around because it was a little bit dark in this house.
Well, I'm looking around then. I'm going to look around.
are some of us getting feedback? Yeah,
From somebody.
just in case it's me. But your characters make their way through the door.
And I start to sneakily look around.
And once you've gone through the door, you look around and you see that the coast is in fact clear. Socks.
All right, there's a bed in this room.
Well, the room that you walk in out of in the bathroom is like a conjoining room between the bathroom and several other rooms. You see a set of stairs to your right, leading up into the darkness. It's directly ahead of you. You see a large oaken monument to the people that stretches up into the sky. You've heard these called tables before. The cat leapt over this to get away because beyond the table there's a bar with an open area that the cat leapt through. Also, there's the hallway you all came from, which is to your left. That leads to the entrance, and also, if you turn towards that hall and then turn right, you'd be going down the hall to the other parts of the house. Where would you like to go to find the girl's room?
Well,
I would
having lived
turn
in the
back.
house before, I would suggest we try the stairs because my girl lived upstairs. What about yours, Fox?
Um, mine lived downstairs, but that's because they slept in a basement.
Hmm.
Um,
But we
a
could
I,
good
I
try either place.
basement, but not a good basement, but not upstairs. But we should go upstairs because I don't think there is a downstairs here.
I'll waddle back just a little bit into the bathroom and try to call out to Squeaks and ask him after the girl is done with bath time if she ends up going up the stairs or if she stays down the stairs.
That's smart.
Good question. Oh, does Squeaks know? Squeaks, like sometimes she turns to the right, sometimes she turns to the left, but I think mostly she turns to the right, leaving the bathroom. He
Is
doesn't
that
actually
the
follow her;
stairs?
just sees which way to
Yeah, the stairs are to the right.
the right. I'm not sure where that's coming from. I should be on a closed mic at this point.
I think that it's coming from Raindrop because the green box is staying around her on Discord, which it is
Let
shows
me
up when there's audio.
Yeah,
let me
mine
see
keeps
if I've
coming
got
through, but I think
something.
it's just background for the.
Mine is showing up a lot.
Okay, so you guys turn towards the stairs. You see large stairs descending or ascending up into an ominous darkness.
Mm,
How would you like to traverse the stairs?
one at a time.
Your characters are able to hop pretty easily across
All
the
right.
stairs. It's not like a huge physical exertion or anything.
I
Um,
can see in the dark.
Going up the stairs might be a little noisy, especially for those of you who have metal components.
I'm not sure. Um, uh, can you take me up the way you took me down? And Maid just kind of turns to Fox.
Yep. Just crawl up onto my back.
Oh, thanks. And just hop up on
We
and
just have to figure out how to get Drift up there quietly.
well,
I wonder if Drift could drive up the stair. There's a rail, right? Do you think we could possibly raise him up to the rail and have him drive up the rail?
Is there a rail?
You know what? Sure, there's a rail.
Because I'm sure if he hoists himself up with his
with the
bar, we could help. I mean, I'm willing to try to climb up there so I can help him steady as he gets up there.
Now, this is going to sound really weird, but hear me out. What if we hook his hook as high up as we can, and the soft people lay down under him while he reels himself up the stairs? And if we have to stop and hook the hook farther up, we can do that more. And he can just drag himself up you, and you'll make the stairs smoother and you'll make him quiet.
Well, I'm as soft as can be, so
And I'm soft too, so I mean, I'm willing to try that. I don't know if it's gonna hurt too badly, but
I like it.
I'll
we
try,
can try it.
Who wants to
I'll try,
take the chance roll on this?
I'll try not to do a burnout on you. I think skid marks would be a bad idea.
So let's put it on Drifter. Let's have Drifter do the chance roll since he's got to avoid burning out on you.
5 and 0.
5 and 0. That should be under your required chance. Oh, by the way, at the beginning of this scene, this is a new scene. I don't. I believe I reset it just before you met the duck, but just I don't think anybody's done anything since.
Oh,
We did
well,
have
I
a
did, and I had a 50, and I would have assumed that I thought I
so
was down to 20.
yeah. If you didn't
When I
already,
was,
go back up on a step on chance and get your D10 of stuff. Then go ahead and do it now. Uh,
okay.
Oh yeah, we had done that at the end.
I thought so. I just wanted to make sure we did.
Yeah, I just didn't realize we went back to 80 on on
I'll
the
never do that
chance.
again.
The,
So I unnecessarily failed a roll. It's
all
okay.
right.
It wasn't a
So Drifter did make it. So you guys all through a fascinating display of teamwork. You uh, Socks grabs the line and swings it around and throws it, and it lands. And then Drifter very carefully starts backing up over Socks and Raindrop, who each continuously move, running, laying down, running, laying down, so they can continue being a landing pad for him to go up the stairs quietly. And because he's got rubber wheels, when he does hit the steps, he rolls over them, so it doesn't make a lot of noise. He makes the littlest bit of noise, but you're fairly certain that this is fairly stealthy. And Socks actually helps in that. Everywhere she goes, it's like it's very very quiet, and there's less noise when she's underneath the RC. All right. As you guys get to the very top of the stairs, you see that you are now in a hallway that leads to the left. In front of you and to the right is a dead end. But to the left, you see several doorways. There is one on the left, one on the right, and one straight ahead. The one straight ahead is ajar, as well as the one on the right. And by jar, I mean it's open. It's not actually a jar.
So we could peek in without anything. Which one do we want to look in first?
Um,
Can we hear anything by like any snoring or any kind of sounds coming from any of those rooms?
You do distinctly remember that there was a snoring sound when you listened from down below, just just in front of the doggy door. But you don't hear it now.
Okay. And there's no lights on.
Actually, there is a little bit of light. It's coming from underneath the door on the left.
And that one is also ajar.
Actually, that is the door that is not ajar.
It is not the door. Okay.
That door is just a door.
well, if there's light and it's closed, they would probably see it when we opened it. So maybe we check the dark room first. And if we don't find the girl there, then we go to the one with the light.
Right, you got two dark rooms in which the door is already partially opened. You got one straight ahead and one to the right.
I instinctually feel like she's in the one with the light on, and that it's a night light. But I don't think Maid would know that. I
Well,
don't know.
the thing is, though, I think
Character knowledge
um,
in Widdershin society is whatever you want it to be for your Widdershin. A lot of things, in my estimation, the Widdershin understand and know things intuitively as opposed to something they researched or studied.
Okay.
well, Raindrop would know her girl slept with a nightlight on, so she might think that that could be the girl's room.
Maid would like agree with her if she mentioned that, just
Okay.
So,
intuitively.
so while I know those doors are open, but the light makes me think that's a child's room. That might be the girl's room. We could look in the doors that are already open because they're open, but I feel like the one we want is the one that's closed.
All right.
Do you have a? It sounds like I have a group consensus to move towards the door with the light coming out from under it. Then sound about right?
Yeah, I'd go there.
Okay. So you guys kind of pad over to that door, and the door is shut on this one.
Lean my head against it and just
All right.
do the same thing.
Now, Maid leans over and taps it, and the moment his key head touches it, you hear the sound of a lock turning, and then the door opens. It slowly swings open. You'll have to actually go in to see what's in there, though.
I can see
sneak
in the
in if
dark,
y'all.
so I'm headed in.
All right, Socks moves around the door to peek in. She sees
Waddle
that
in there.
she's in a large cavernous room, much bigger than the last one you were in with Squeaks. In this room, you can see what you know to be a bed. This is a common people artifact, and as you look at it, you can see there's a great big mountain of object, as far as you know, underneath the covers, which you're imagining might be a people, might be a person, um, maybe the father, the mother, or the girl. It's very large. And then off to the right side, you see there's a desk and with a large lamp on top of it. And to the left, you see a wardrobe, a rack with people shoes lined up in neat rows. The source of the light becomes clear. The window just above the bed is the curtains are drawn open and the full moonlight is coming in.
Hey, maid, you might want to hop in the back.
Just I'll climb up in the back.
Guess we got to get away quick.
Dang it! I thought that it was. I made an assumption and it was very wrong.
For being a getaway driver, gain one stuff. All right, so
Should have asked
Let's-
what kind of light it
let's
was.
have somebody roll chance because I've been thinking about doing this for a while. So let's just see. I want to give you guys a chance for this not to happen. So some of this is just check your luck.
I will
So
roll.
penalty. If you succeed, you do not lose a chance though.
All right, I'll
Okay.
do it since I'm already prowling around everywhere. No, that's 2d20. 2d10. 1 and 7, 17. I don't
Excellent.
think I'm anywhere near my...
The
Okay.
large frame above you snorts and turns, and the snorting resumes.
Wah wah.
It's
Sort of
large,
tense up in the
very
back
large.
of
The room
tense up in the
echoes.
back of Drifter.
Yeah, it's louder than any of you could possibly be.
And you say
Sounds like a
it's
bad carburetor.
I'll
rotating?
whisper in, get out so I can close the door again. Come on, I'll close the door.
Carefully, you agree.
I'll hang on to Drifter.
All right. Your
And
group
exit.
carefully backs out of the door. Do you shut it, or do you
I
attempt to shut the door?
use my key again.
You use your
Oh,
key
wait.
out the door.
Is there a limit to how many times I can use it per scene?
If the key in its description mentions that it has a stuffing cost for using an ability, the limit would be that you run out of stuffing. But if
Okay.
it does not list a stuffing cost, then you can pretty much just use it whenever you feel like.
Okay.
All right. As you back away and the door
I'm having a hard time.
quietly closes, you continue to hear the snoring. You seem to be safe for the moment.
Okay. So riders, did we want the one that was straight or the one that was right before?
Well, straight's
What do you
closest.
think? Next door?
Whichever one's closest.
Okay.
All right. That sounds like a
I'll listen at the door.
door across from that door, which would be the door on the right when you first come out of the stairs and down the hall. So you listen at the door.
Well, we were thinking it was the one that was. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the door is
Listening at the
cracked.
door.
It is cracked open, but you can definitely listen at the door. Um, if you like, you can choose not to take the roll, but you can try to get his stuff with a chance roll. And also maybe valuable details.
23,
Excellent.
which is a pass.
All right, so your chance drops down one step. You gain one stuff, and you do hear very faint breathing, but once again it's like the other breathing. That it's something very large, but this one's just much quieter.
Hmm.
Are we all able to hear it based off of her roll, or just her?
I will say that she can easily turn around and say, "Hey guys, I hear something in there," and describe what she hears. No worries.
Well, that must be the place. If the Squeaks said that there's the girl and there's the cat, and we know that that the girls always have the parents, and we found the parents. Maybe that's the girl, unless the duck didn't mention something else that lives here.
True.
It doesn't sound like the cat. I guess we should go.
Okay.
Be very, very quiet.
All right, I'm gonna call this a group stealth check because there's a pretty wide margin for error here as you enter the room. Keep in mind, our
Now,
undecided that you can use your.
because we're a team,
Go ahead.
now I got +5 by our name. Does that mean that all of our rolls have a +5, or is it only when we're doing a team thing?
Now, if you're talking about the rally flag that was used last scene, that is now ended because
Oh,
you can do it once per scene and
okay.
it only lasts until the end of the scene. Yes,
Okay, that's probably why I had it.
that is
Okay.
a token owned by Drifter the RC.
I rolled a 79 out of 80.
79 out of 80. Well, you made it.
Yeah.
I think that
I rolled a 66. I needed a 41.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm at 40, so this is going to be a little bit hairy. So
I rolled a
just
12.
go ahead and try rolling here.
How did Drifter do?
I rolled a 12.
All right. He was quiet this time. It's on you guys.
It's the softies.
Here we go.
It'd be funny if both soft dolls made the most noise while the metal guys were real quiet, right?
They both catch the same large splinter and kind of
47. I don't think my what do you call it? 5 pennant. I'm just
Maybe the two broke into conversation and just
lost.
kind of forgot you were supposed to be quiet now. And but anyway, as you come across the door and the two girls start having a discussion about whatever it is you feel like having a discussion about, you realize too late that you probably should have stopped talking before coming in the room. And Maid and the RC who have gone ahead of you like freeze in their tracks as suddenly you see ahead of you. The room setup for this room is very similar. There's a large bed. It's on a different wall, but it's another large bed. Well, not as large. This bed's smaller. And then there is a desk, a smaller desk. On this desk, there's all kinds of things that you can't quite make out from here. And also, there's a closet that you can't see into because the door is closed. The window on the curtains are shut, so it's much darker in here. But you still can see through the moonlight that is coming through the closed curtains that a large form is throwing the blankets off of themselves and rising. With a thunderous boom, a huge bare foot slams into the ground, inches away from the RC.
I am in the back of the RC still. Having
And
opened the door, I would have climbed back in.
And I'll take off underneath the bed.
That's exactly what I was gonna do.
In a
How far
risky
away is
maneuver,
the bed?
I'm gonna.
knowing he might be seen, Drifter attempts to get out of view before this giant can spot him. Go ahead and make a roll, Drifter.
No.
A 0 and a 4.
Wow,
And a 4.
that's
And a
exactly
4.
what.
So I
The
got to
re-
re-roll the 4.
no reroll, no rerolls on the 4. Only when you're rolling to get stuff. When you roll a 4, otherwise, what it does is
And
it affects the outcome to great magnitude. So,
Like you're in
uh,
good shape now.
since we got a positive outcome here, as Drifter the RC takes off, not only does he get himself and Maid to safety without being seen, he manages to catch hold of Raindrop and Socks as well and pull them under with him.
Put my doors out and then grab hold and we just drag them.
Another giant foot slams into the floor, which shakes under all of you. You can feel it. It's like an earthquake. There's a few more steps as the human steps around the room, looks around, and the person doesn't seem to find what they're looking for. You do hear something, though. Sobbing. After a few moments, the feet return to the bed, and with a great cacophony of noise and motion, the bed bulging over your heads uh, lays back down, and the feet disappear. After a few moments, everything goes still and somewhat quiet again, though you can still hear the sobbing.
Is it a young sobbing?
Does it sound like it's coming from the girl?
It, from the size of the foot that you saw and the inflection of the voice that you hear sobbing, she's a big girl. It doesn't seem like a girl.
a
It's
big
more like
girl.
it's more like there's a woman in the girl's bed.
And according to Socks, that doesn't mean anything. Her keeper is a full adult. I think we should look up over the bed.
But but just directionally, does the crying sound like it's coming from the human?
It
In
does
the
sound
room.
like it's coming from the person in the room.
Okay.
But all of you get the intuitively feel like this is not the girl. Usually, when Wittershin refer
Nope,
to a
but
girl, they're talking about a small person, just like the boy is a small person. The
still
bed is also
tempted to go and
a small
to
person, but
at least
on
listen to
a
them.
small bed.
Like she's there, but she doesn't belong there.
Exactly.
But she's
Drifter gets the
crying.
feeling like she doesn't belong there.
I think that you're right, Fox. I think somebody needs to look to see if the woman and the girl are both in the bed or if it's just the woman.
I can crawl
That's
up.
gonna be me. I
Socks, do you want to
can't.
crawl up or should I?
I can't let people keep crying up
I'm
there.
sorry?
I
Right.
said I can't let people keep crying up there.
But what if the woman gets scared by you? You're not supposed to be here.
Socks, you feel that Maid is making a point about a unspoken rule among the Wittershin that you all know intuitively, just as you know intuitively that that is the mother and not the girl. You know that letting her see you could be a mistake,
Mm,
but it has been done
Hmm.
before. If you wish to make this mistake,
Mistake.
I'm thinking. I need to think about this.
Why don't we check out the other room while you think about it?
all
I
right.
can come back if I have to. So let's go check out the
Yes.
other room.
I am going to give Socks the Fox a stuff just because she is playing out her desire to comfort those in need, even when in a dangerous situation where doing so could put her at risk. Um, as you guys move back towards the door, the person above is awake, so you will need to stealth by.
Oh dear.
This is our next roll.
Yep, it will be a group stealth check. Everybody has to get in on it because anybody can mess it up.
Okay.
Oh my God, mine is like what
54. I passed
5
it.
now?
You said you did pass?
I did pass because I failed enough, and so therefore 54 is a pass.
There you
I
go.
have failed miserably. 91.
32 out of
Oh
40.
dear.
Would you like to use a stuff to use your undersider ability to make yourself quieter?
Yes. I'm going to have to do that. I
You're
just
immediately-
got a stuff, so.
It makes you go up a chance level. You spend one stuff and you go up a chance level for
Except
stealth.
I'm at 80 and I got a 91.
Oh shoot! Yes, you can't go up a level.
I am
It
screwed.
wouldn't help.
Yeah,
Trust me,
Poor
mine is worse.
Foxy is screwed.
it's a terrible roll. Okay, so as
Does
you
my
guys
54
all,
help any with that 4 on?
what's that?
Does my 54 with that little 4 on the end do anything, or is it only if it's 0 4?
If you have a 4 anywhere in the roll, it affects the entire situation. And if it's a positive
I
effect,
had a
it's a very
54.
positive effect. Okay, you had a 4. So we're gonna say that you actually cover
Yes.
Raindrop. Raindrop stops suddenly as you guys are heading out of the room, and she just can't stop from looking back at the person, at the mother. She hears her crying, and she hesitates, even though doing so in the middle of the room will definitely get her spotted. Seeing this, Raindrop valiantly runs out to grab hold of Socks and pulls her out just before the mother would have seen her. And you all make it. Because I believe that was the only failure I heard, right?
I think Anthony failed. He said his was
Failed
worse
too?
than a 91.
It was worse
I
than
think
another one.
I think I backfired so hard my batteries fell out.
All right.
Rolled a 88 on a 40. I'm sorry,
88.
20.
Ooh.
Okay.
Well,
So
the good
you
news
go,
is you're now
go
at
up a
40.
step on the chance, and
Yay!
the mother, the feet come down again as the person in the bed becomes aware of your presence. You hear words that you don't recognize, except for one character. One of your characters is capable of understanding what she's saying. Raindrop is aware that she's saying, "What was that?" As she gets up and starts to look towards the RC because he's drawn her attention. As he was kind of like just sort of trying to take off, he took off a little too hard. His wheels spun out and it made a like a raspy sound on the carpet. Like, "Meow." He's like, is that the cat? What is that? All right. Do you freeze or do you run for it?
I'm going freeze.
Okay, he does the safe thing and he freezes. The woman, the rest of you have made it out of the door because that's where you have to be to avoid it being spotted. And you can still move on the other side of the door. But what she's doing is she's getting up and she's moving towards the race car. She leans down and looks closely at it. Once again, I'll say the only character that can actually understand her right now is Raindrop. And she reaches down and she says, "When did this get here?" She reaches down and grabs hold of the RC and picks him up, turns him over, looking at him.
Is Maid in there is Maid in the RC's
Are you in his
front
back?
seat?
So that's a question I was gonna ask. I was letting us go to the narrative point. I was gonna wait to see where it ended and then ask you for you to determine where I am because I succeeded very heavily on my roll
You made it.
for my stealth.
You can decide. I'll give you two choices. You can use your success to flip out of him and get to safety before she notices, or you could choose to take the fall in with him so that you stay near your choice.
So when she picks him up to pick him out from underneath the bed, I just slip out of the back and stay underneath the bed.
Gotcha.
Well,
I don't
I
run
thought he
all the
was
way
like,
out the door. I'm just
Well,
like
I was saying
right
you could,
there.
but
I
yeah,
got
that's
an
fine.
idea. I got
I
an
just like I
idea.
get to the edge of the bed and I'm ready to make the escape if I can / need to, but I'm ready to stay and be helpful if I can.
Okay, Socks whispers that she has an idea to Raindrop as they hide on the other side of the door.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll tell Fox what they said.
Um, I, I want to go in disguise as the cat.
You can do that?
She pulls out a leaf token and touches herself with it, attempting to make a facsimile of the cat.
That's going to cost me a stuff.
Wow.
And let's do it.
You become a large, ungainly cat, and whether or not you can pretend to be the cat accurately is where your next challenge will lie.
Meow. Meow. Scratching at the door.
All right,
Maid just the crossbow pops out.
go ahead and
I'm
go
all
ahead and
stiff.
roll your chance. Unfortunately, with this particular challenge, you cannot get assistance.
All right. Um, luckily I failed miserably last time.
If it helps
Roll
for this,
one or 2d10. 23.
23. All right, and I'm going to assume that's a success since you went back up a step.
Yep.
So she is going to kind of look over at the cat as the cat walks around the corner. Meow. She looks over that way. Uh, she
And
uh, she she says, "What is it, Shadow?" And she moves over and she once again Raindrop's the one who understands this, but she leans down and she pets the cat with her free hand. The other hand still has the RC in it, and you are petted, Socks.
and and I what do you call it? Start pawing up towards the toys, trying to claim them as mine.
Straight down the hall as you are petted by the
Oh.
before you head off to the to the toy to grab the toy. As this thought crosses your mind, straight across the hall, you see there's a large grate. Um, the people use this for ventilation in their homes. And on the other side of the grate, you see two yellow eyes narrow at you.
Ooh,
I think that at this point, I, I feel like Maid would have shot the cat again.
Well, the cat you can't see the cat. The only person that sees the cat right now
Oh,
is Socks, and
so it's
maybe
still like it's like out and around.
it's down the hall. So
Okay.
they're out. Raindrop are currently just outside the door.
No, I mean
Uh,
I would have shot. I would have
You would
shot
have shot Fox.
Fox, who
you would have
looks like the cat.
Even though
So
there's a
if
human there?
Fox
Compensation.
is reaching up trying to
So
paw at
you have
at
a point. You have a total
Drifter,
point.
I would just try
sideways.
to quietly shoot the
Okay.
cat.
So let's do this one
Try to
step
be
at a time.
helpful.
All right. So Socks, you try to help Drifter by grabbing him out of this woman's. You notice the cat down the hall, the real cat, is looking at you, apparently not happy that you took his form. But as you reach out to grab the Drifter, because you're going to probably stick to your agenda, which is get Drifter to safety. It would normally be a contested challenge to get Drifter away from the woman, except someone just tried to shoot you. What would you like to do? I will give you two options. You can just go for Drifter and take the hit, or you can try to avoid the hit and maybe lose your tenacious grip with the woman.
This is a toughie.
Kind of
Um,
built for damage, just so you know. I hope you have a lot of stuff.
I mean, he's got army in his name. What do you
I
expect?
figured of all the games I could play where there wouldn't be any, player killing going on, PCs fighting each other.
Friendly fire.
Shot in the butt by a crossbow.
When you don't know, you don't know.
okay,
So
does a woman actually see this me get shot by somebody?
Well, it's a pretty small little, like basically like needles that just get shot at you. So they're pretty
depending
small.
on the outcome, I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you how she reacts, depending on the outcome. This could go a lot of
okay.
ways.
I'm gonna run underneath the bed.
Okay, so I'm going to take that as avoid the missile. All right,
Yes.
so
I'm under the bed though, so you're running towards me.
Wait a minute.
the
Okay.
cat
Wait.
suddenly. Okay, we're not going to do that. All right,
If he's already underneath the bed, I'm not gonna.
the
Okay.
cat
I get
pauses.
shot from underneath the bed, so I'll take the hit and try to keep my paws on the.
All right, I'm gonna narrate this based on all the decision making that's led to this. Okay, so the cat looks off down the hall for a second, notices something, reaches for the RC, sees a projectile coming its way, rips its hand back, starts to head towards the bed, looks under the bed, sees Maid, runs back over and grabs hold of the RC. Make a contested challenge against the woman who's looking at you like you just had crack.
Does that mean? Does that mean I hit
That is,
her?
that
No.
is very cat.
She did dodge the missile
Okay.
by it.
Now, how do I make a contested
Okay,
challenge? Is that
you are minus a step on this one. It's more difficult because of your evasive action.
okay? Roll
I think
2d10.
you're already at 40 at the your max is
Now
gotta be
here we
40 right
go.
now, not 20.
Here we go. 72.
Okay.
Oh, there's no
She
way.
makes a flight for Drifter, but the woman's already standing up, and the RC is pulled out of reach. As the woman starts saying, "What is wrong with you, Shadow? What was that?" She looks off in the direction of the projectile that got shot off into the hallway.
I'm underneath the bed, like I just right up against the bedpost, the leg, just
On
trying
the
to.
on the positive side, she walks out into the hallway to try to find out what it was that just went bink, against the far wall. And she reaches down and she picks it up. What is this? What is going on? She looks around, and you can see now clearly because she's moved around a bit in front of all of you and gotten pretty close. She does have tear streaks on her face. She was definitely the person crying. She looks around a little bit and starts stomping back into the room she was just in, if anyone wanted to react to that. But then she stops, and I will need a stealth from Socks and Raindrop, who are too close. Not Socks. Raindrop, who is too close. Socks is a cat.
Meow. Meow.
Let me see what I'm at. I think I'm at.
You can also do something other than stealth if you want to try to dive for cover somewhere. If you have an idea.
I failed. I had a 34.
Okay. Do you freeze or do you run for it?
Yes. Freeze.
Okay.
Freezing.
What in the? She stops and moves over to grab the plushie doll. I don't recognize this one, she says. She turns the doll over, looking at Raindrop. Who in the world put these toys here?
Okay, can I still see her?
Oh, she's halfway around the corner, so yeah, you can see her. You can even
In
see
an
the RP
effort
still in your hand.
to injure her and make her drop the toys that she has, I will attempt to shoot her in her bare foot in the ankle.
Oh, we already have an attack on the people, and it's game 2. Goodness. All right.
I didn't do this. I had a better plan.
All right.
I just
I
contemplate
didn't
throwing
do
up the
this.
water.
If you'd like to react to this, is there something that you'd like to? If anybody else would like to react to this, you can do so.
I would like to. Oh wait, we said we don't. I don't have a ritual. I feel like I have a fighter, or I mean a broken thing for this.
For extended challenges, you're more likely to succeed, but this is not an extended challenge.
Yeah, I wish
An,
that it
an
was.
example of an extended challenge would be when I had all of you do that several stuff pool when you were crossing the road.
Mhm.
That would be something that you as a fighter can get more successes on and take less damage should it be damaging.
But my thing does deal extra damage, so
And I know we're using the word fighter. The word I believe we're looking for is
broken.
actually broken. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, as a broken. So I load one more little shrapnel bolt and right at her ankle. And I mean, the damage of it, I'm so tiny. It's really just more of
Wow.
like she got poked in the ankle by something
This
than
is
anything else.
This is your token implement, though, right?
This is my token implement, and my intent is to hit her in like that tender spot on the back of the ankle area where she just is like, "Ow, what
I'll
was
say
that?" And like kind of.
because you're telling me you're trying not to hit as hard as this thing's capable of. This thing normally does 2 stuff and damage, so we'll say that you can reduce it to 1 stuff, which is still really hurtful for a person. So,
Man.
roll it out and see if you hit.
Okay. Well, I'm at 20 right now, so we'll see what happens. Oh, no way. 15.
Okay, you hit.
I hit her.
She cries out in pain. As it sticks in her ankle, like right through her foot. She's got it stuck through the back of her heel.
She
And
dropped this.
she lets go of both the toys. She grabs
Yes.
her foot and starts jumping around,
Good
screaming,
going. She's
uh,
traumatized even worse than she was before.
cursing and screaming in Spanish. She is just all over the place. And you all immediately hear a noise from the other room, the one that you went in before,
Right.
and the
Oh
sound
no.
of boom.
I did
So
forget
bad,
about
though.
a skill that I have.
Yeah. So, are you clear? Or are you still beside me?
Well, currently, I'm going to say
I'm probably next to you.
your forms are
Grab,
currently laying on the floor. Your choices are to continue being still or to try to make a break for it.
grab hold.
All right.
I'm
Uh,
grabbing on.
I'll need a contested chance roll to see if you can get away without being seen.
Okay,
I
hang
failed
on. Do we
miserably
both
last
have to
time.
do it or just one?
One of you can do it, and the other one could assist if you like. You just tell me what you're doing.
Well, I've managed to fail my way up to 80, so
What?
53.
All
So
right.
I passed my stealth.
All right. So Raindrop jumps in the back of Drifter. Drifter takes off. Which direction do you want to go in, by the way?
Okay. What is her position right now as opposed to the bed
In
and
the
the
middle
door?
of the hallway, and she's hopping back and forth so erratically, it's hard to tell which direction
Oh,
she's going
she's
to
in the
go
hallway?
in. She's in the hallway.
With
Okay, where?
you and Raindrop are both in the. She dropped you two in the
She dropped
hallway,
you in the hallway
but
with
she's distracted by her pain. So
There's not
And we
any
have a
large piece of furniture in.
in the hallway. No, but you could try to either your
There
options.
is a room that we haven't explored.
There's the
We
3
could
rooms, and then there's
you
the
could go in the
staircase.
other open door.
All right, the door that we have not been in yet, is it open?
Okay,
It
the
was
door.
ajar.
Well, no. The door you have not been to is ajar. In fact,
it
not
was
a door.
open, yeah.
It is open?
But Fox and I are in the other room.
Oh,
So
Gone.
it's only a little open. You might make some noise slamming into it to get through it, but
Is
it's open.
is the dolly out here with
do we see?
me?
Yeah, just in the room. Does Fox see Anne in the room with the small bed?
Because if Fox is a the cat
If you
could
would
jump
like
on the
to
bed.
see what you're doing while the chaos is going off in the hallway, by all means, Fox slinks into the room to look. You'll have to climb up onto the bed to really get a look because it's
No
even in
problemo.
even in your cat form, you're still not tall enough to really see over it.
Well,
So it's no problem. You don't have to roll or anything. You climb up top, and you look and you see the bed is empty. There's no one here.
oh dear.
Are there any
Now from
spots in the room that look like they might be like? Is there a place? Because I'm fairly linear and thin. Is there a way that while she's distracted, I could position myself closer to the door but still be hidden, so that if she comes back in, I can then make my way
We'll
out?
say you start sneaking that way, but if it comes down to it and she comes around the corner where you're in full view, you'll have to stealth again. You know that. You know that if you leave yourself in the open that and you're as long as she's not in the room, you're safe. But the moment she comes in, you might have to worry. But as long as you're under something or behind something and you have some kind of total cover up, I'll say that you don't have to stealth away or anything.
I think that he would probably, because he's a little bit timid after having been run over, he would probably try to play it safe and just stay next to the leg of the bed so he could try to like blend in with it
He's still
visually.
hiding behind something.
Yeah.
So he's already made his stealth, so I'm going to say he's safe until that situation changes. Uh, for you, Socks, from the elevation you're currently on, you can see that. Remember, I told you there were some things on the desk, the small desk in this room that you couldn't quite make out. Well,
Mm-hmm.
one thing you see that is kind of like this long sheaf of yellow paper, and it's laying in the center of the desk, and because your stuff is tears, you can make out that there are tears on the paper.
I'm gonna hop over and look at it. Look at the paper.
All right, we'll handle that in just a moment since we've got quite a radical situation going on in the
All
hallway while you
right.
do.
I understand.
I hate to throw a
All right.
little even more erraticness into this, but could we take a bio break very quickly?
Oh, feel free to go ahead and relieve yourself, sir, and
Okay.
Beep beep beeping.
we'll get back to Maid hiding under the bed as soon as you come back, and I'll keep the rest moving. All right, so for Drifter and Raindrop, you guys, I believe you made it because Raindrop got into. We'll say you decided to go for the stairs or for the other room. You didn't tell me
The other room.
the other room. Okay, so she jumps in the back. You guys take off towards that open door, and she realizes that you're going to make a lot of noise when you hit the door. So she throws herself out in front of the truck and acts like a cushion. As you run into her in the door, you managed to bump the door open softly and quietly, relatively, to compared to what it was. But also, Luck would see it that there's another loud sound that drowns out the sound of your travel, as the door for the other room that you had been in suddenly slams open, and a very large person, likely the father, bearded, tall, and thick, glares out into the room and looks at the woman. And Raindrop, you can hear, he says, "What is going on out here?" All right. You two are in a new room. You look around and you see there is a window in this room as well, straight across from the door. The blinds are half closed, so there's some moonlight coming in. It's not as much as it was from the room that the father was in. There is no bed in this room. There's just several shelves full of books and several shelves full of books. And additionally, you can see that there are two desks set up along either of the two walls across from you. And other than that, you see like a wicker trash basket and a closet.
But there's no bed.
No bed.
Just not like it's a bedroom. Are there any toys?
There are toys in the room Socks is in, aren't there?
Okay. Uh, there are no toys in this room. Nope. This room, because you're intuitive creatures, you get the feeling this is a place where people go to study, maybe to do work, or this is a serious room.
Is there anything to hide under?
It's an office or a study. And yeah, there's the desks themselves, or you could use the wicker basket to hide behind it, or you could try to go in the closet, which is open.
How about the room that Socks is in? Is there toys in this one?
All right, you can. Let's see. Socks actually is in a room where there are toys. Yes. There's a small dollhouse in one corner, and since Socks is specifically looking for them, she can see traces of there's a toy box off to the side, and it's got toys that are stacked neatly inside of it. Because from the elevation that you're at, you can look down into the toy box. You couldn't see them before, but this is definitely a child's room. Also, intuitively you feel like it's a child's room. The blankets on the bed are bright colored and a little frilly, and there's
Is the
a
bed made?
no, nope. The
Okay.
woman was actually laying in the bed with the
Because
full
women
covers.
were sleeping in it.
Yes, and you do notice there is a stuffed brown bear staring at you with little beady black eyes. He's just kind of resting against the wall nearby. Um, So, what did you want to do concerning the paper that you saw on the desk? You said you wanted her to jump over and look at it.
Can I read it?
Actually, yeah, we'll cover that. You jump across to the desk, and you look down at the paper, and the first thing that you can recognize is that you cannot read this writing. Usually, Wittershing can read the writing of the people, specifically the people that they have connections to. But for whatever reason, these particular people are disconnected from you in a way that you can't read this writing.
All right.
It's all in Spanish.
I'm gonna hop down and see if I can talk to the bear.
All right. You jump back onto the bed because that's where the bear is. He's on top of the
Meow.
bed. You jump back onto the bed, and you look at the bear, and he just stares at you with little big black eyes. And we'll get back to you because we still got all kinds
All
of stuff
right.
going
Go
on.
back to the chaos.
We split the party. Let's go.
We did. This is all kinds of fun. All right, so the man is going to immediately go into search mode. You hear the door to the office slam open as he goes into the office to look around and see if anything's amiss. So those of you who went to hide in the office must now hide from the man who is literally searching for something amiss.
To the closet.
All
In
right,
the
you
closet,
The closet is
behind
actually a
something.
designated safe place. You do not have to make a check because you went in the closet. That was the one spot you don't have to roll to avoid being seen in. We'll cover what happens in the closet in a moment. The woman is going to go in the opposite direction, and she's going to actually stomp down the stairs, screaming and crying. She is trailing blood, very unhappy.
You monster.
He didn't know that I was so powerful.
No, He was
I
just trying to
literally
protect
had
his
no
people.
idea.
he was trying to protect his team. He still doesn't know where Socks is.
It's a learning
That's
experience.
That's accurate. I do hear the cat jumping around all over the place, and I know the cat
Meow.
is now back on the bed.
You
And
have heard her leap onto the bed, then onto the desk, where you saw her look at something on the desk, and then leap back onto the bed again. Thump, thump, thump.
I'm a little tense. I'm hoping the cat doesn't come under the bed.
This is great. All right, so made from your position under the bed, you can see it. There's. How do you get over there? The cat is in the door,
Wait, what?
slinking into the room you're in.
Wait. Okay, but does it
But
have
you know,
an
you just
eyeball
heard the
wound?
cat- You just heard the cat jump in. Actually, he does not. He looks completely uninjured somehow.
Oh, I'm
pretty sure it was direct.
totally. They have two cats. Maid is just like, oh my god, there's two of them. The duck lied.
What
There's
this-
two of them.
He's the one in the spotlight right now. What does he do? He sees the cat, but he's not sure whether the cat saw him. The cat is sneaking into the room. Maybe for him, maybe not.
Again, trying to play it safe. I would say if he was like kind of leaned out from behind the bedpost and sees the cat, he would just right up against the leg of the bed again and just tuck any of his little appendages that were sticking out, blades or crossbows or anything, tuck them all and try to be as straight up as possible and just hide.
All right, as a storyteller, I'm going to rule that you are totally fine because you've already rolled to hide and you're successfully hidden. As long as you don't do anything to break that, you are safe as the cat pads into the room. As long as he doesn't break your cover. The cat moves very carefully, but he seems to be looking up. Socks, you've been in a flurry of action trying to figure about the the teardrop letter. And in your efforts to get the bear to speak to you, you don't see the cat as it slinks into the room behind you. But you do get a feeling run up and down your spine. As an undersider, you have a unique awareness of when something is stalking you.
I'm gonna hide underneath the covers.
Additionally, you feel a resonance in your stuff. You don't feel like your transformation is going to last for too much longer.
All right, I may have missed it. Did you say that the second cat jumped onto the bed with the first cat, or just that it's slinking
Still on the
around
floor,
the bed? Okay,
slinking around the floor, looking up.
yeah. Looking up, not
Hasn't
jumping
seemed
up.
to notice you yet.
I
Maybe
made
maybe Maid thinks he's looking for him, but
yeah,
hasn't.
Maid would definitely attempt to get out of the room with the two cats as soon as the second one left the floor.
All right. Well, actually, that's going to come right up. We'll go back to the closet in the other room. You guys are making me do all kinds of hopscotch here. So back to the closet.
Make you work for it.
The door starts to shut.
Oh no.
Both of you look up in surprise as all is black. Suddenly, twin sets of little pinpoints of red eyes stare at you. A squeaking fills Raindrop's ears. But to Drifter, who is an outsider and well versed in the knowledge and language of the animals, you can hear them. Food? No, not food. What is? Food? No, not food.
Say not food.
You are in complete darkness. Your
You
character.
lied to us so much. You said the closet was the one safe place, and they went in the closet, and now all of a sudden there are horrible, horrible creatures in there that are going to eat them.
I didn't say it was safe.
He said
Said
we
you could
didn't have to
hide.
talk.
I got headlights.
All right. You turn your headlights on, and immediately the two large rodents squeak and run away off to the other side of the closet, where they paw at their eyes and look at you. Right, harsh, harsh. Ow.
Sorry.
Squeak.
Can I dim them?
You can.
I'll dim my lights.
All right. The rats just kind of sniff at the air and wiggle their whiskers at you. They seem curious. You don't feel aggression.
Hi.
Hello.
What's your
Can
name?
you ask them if they've seen a doll named Anne?
I'm getting to that.
Okay. Because they can't understand me.
Right. Who are you?
The rats don't seem to really understand the question. But one of them moves up and sniffs at you. Not food. Not food.
Not food.
Nom nom.
Are you food?
No. No, not
Okay.
food.
Okay, good. Can you help us?
No eat.
No. You-
Even though
Can you
he's
help?
not food, one of them starts to gnaw on your back tire.
Hey, get up. Get. Not food. Do a little
Hey.
burnout.
Tastes bad. He says tastes bad 3 times and then gnaws on your tire again.
I'm going to drop my tailgate on his nose.
This seems to be a deterrent enough. The rat backs up. Its nose is very sensitive, and it kind of claws at its nose a couple of times, and then just backs way up, and it doesn't come forward. The other rat seems to just be kind of poking at Raindrop, just with its little.
I poke back, push back.
But when you reach out to touch it back, it leaps backwards and just stares at you with very wide eyes. And then crawls forward and pokes at you again, and then starts to gnaw at you.
I
This one's
slap it.
This one's up. Oh, ow! And it
Not food.
backs away.
It's too bad Socks isn't in here.
I'm not biting you.
Do you know? Have you seen another a doll? Not food, but stuff like her.
Yes.
Can you? Is she here now? Close by?
No.
Do you know where she is now?
No.
Hmm. Anything I should ask them?
How long's it been since they seen her last?
How long's it been since you seen her last?
The rat doesn't seem to understand the concept of time very well.
Concept of time.
It just looks at you very like you're saying weird things.
Do you know a way out of the closet where we
Yeah.
won't be seen?
Yes, good. Always unseen. Always unseen. Good.
Yeah,
The rat
that
will
big-
lead you to a small hole in the back of the closet. We'll get back to how you guys make your escape in a minute. Meanwhile, we have a cat incident. So, maid,
Mhm.
did you want to make a break for it? Because the cat on the floor looks like he's about to leap up.
He's petrified in fear.
Hello?
Oh, I'm sorry. You said maid. I totally thought you said fox. Like the whole time I'm sitting here waiting for her. I'm like just looking around, waiting for her.
I thought you were really deep in thought, and he's really considering all the.
No. I was waiting for Fox to answer. I was trying to think of like, oh man, what am I gonna do based on that? But then she didn't give me a that to consider. I
I
would
was
absolutely
waiting.
like again. We're waiting for each other.
You were being a deep thinker, man. Come on.
You
So,
straight up look like you were ordering at Taco Bell. It's like,
Oh yeah.
Could I get
You
a
know
burger with
whatever
fries?
your words, you know. Anyway, so what are you doing?
I will. Yeah. So if the cat seems to be jumping up onto the bed with the other cat, I would use that to running from one piece of cover to the next piece of cover, try to make my way to and through the doorway into the hallway. And from there, so I guess also like from under the bed, could I see the other two go into the other room? Was it across the hall, like
No,
through the doorway or anything? Okay. Oh
nope.
man.
Then leave.
All I know is that everybody else is in the hallway somewhere.
With
And
the
would I have heard them
party, I think I heard.
drive into it?
Let's say, let's give you a chance roll if you'd like to
Oh
listen.
man. Okay, so
The raindrop.
chance to see if I heard them run in there. But I'm at a 10 right now, so I'm sure I'm gonna fail.
I saw.
summon the
Um,
cat.
Yeah.
yeah, 79. So I didn't hear them, but the good news is I'm back up to 20.
Back up to 20. Ooh, that's rough. Okay.
Well, I've succeeded several times in a row. So
So do you want to make a break for it?
I don't know where they went, so I didn't hear anything, so my assumption is gonna be that they're all right out there in the hallway somewhere, and if I just run out there, I'll see them. So I'm gonna just make a break for it and try to get away from the two cats. On the way out, I'm going to touch the door with my head so that it closes and locks the two cats in there. But I'm not gonna. So the way my
Fox.
Wow.
Oh no, you're trying to assassinate the fox. Is that
I don't know it's her, do I?
Yeah,
I have no clue.
Okay, so
The way my ability works is I can open and close and lock and unlock a door or a lock, and if I spend a stuff, it's permanently locked unless another padlock key unlocks it. So I'm not gonna spend a stuff because we're in the human house. I just want to like close the door and make sure the cats can't get me.
okay. Let's
So I'm just gonna tap it and run through.
All right, so make a
Ooh,
chance
cat
roll
out.
to make this brave dash for safety.
Got a question.
No, not at all. 67 out of 20.
Socks,
Well,
you under
go
the
ahead.
blankets, I believe, right?
I think
I'm
I'm
sorry,
still on the
I
bed.
can't hear. There's the distortion or echoing, whatever is going on again. I can't understand what's being said.
I was speaking to Lena for socks. on Sox's behalf. I think there might be a mic too close to a speaker somewhere. Everybody might want to like look around and make sure that's not the case. Um, that kind of interference usually comes from that. All right. Can
Well,
I
it's
can I
gone now.
There you are. Yeah, it's gone now. All right. So Elena, Socks the fox is currently hiding under a blanket, I believe, on the bed, right?
Yep. So you said that my transformation was going to wear off in a little very.
Yes, you do feel like it's got a limited amount of time. It's still effective. You are still a cat, but you do feel like you feel like the first tingle that usually happens about a minute before it wears off.
Hmm. The bear is non-acknowledging. Hiding underneath a. Okay, let me think here.
Yeah, you're pretty sure that's not a Wittershin. He's just not saying or doing anything, just
Okay.
completely still.
So no way to get information from anything in here. But I don't have a good feeling about this room. I feel
I do have a
like
question. Did you take the paper with you, or did you leave it on the desk?
um well, I didn't decide before I hopped back over here whether I was going to bring the paper with me or not.
Well, no
That cat
thumb.
is down there.
Yeah, we'll say you probably left it on the desk since you didn't have any opposable fingers. So the paper's still over there, and you are still a cat, and you are hiding under the blanket. You hear the sound of padding feet, and you'd already felt like you were being observed, but they suddenly and swiftly move in another direction as the cat lunges out and grabs hold of Maid, picking him up in its jaws and taking off down the hall with it. The cat will leap down the stairs with Maid in his mouth, but we'll address that in a minute.
Oh crap!
But Socks, since you were close by and you could have stuck your head out from under the covers to see, you would have been aware of what just happened. You
All
saw
right.
Maid catnapped.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm probably going to end up regretting this, but I'm going to go ahead and chase the other cat.
all right, you take up and you're starting to get a little more used to your feline form. You take off with your 4 feet running.
Meow.
All right.
Meow.
Raindrop is not available to hear. You hear the people yell and shout a bit. The man is in the hallway now, and he sees the two cats dart by as one goes tearing down the stairwell with Maid in his mouth, and the other one goes tearing off to the first one. Um, let's see. I'm gonna say it's you can go for stealth maybe, as since you're kind of like chasing this cat. If you don't want him to know you're chasing him, but if you do want him to know you're chasing him, let me know. Is this a tail or an all-out, trying to tackle him?
Well, I'm trying to get Maid back.
Okay. So how do you want to do it? Do you want to do it by just jumping on the other cat, or do you want to kind of tail him and look for the opportunity? So
Shoot him in the heel. It makes him drop everything.
shoot him in the heel. Yeah. Well, cat crossbow.
Tail and look for opportunity.
Bite him. Yeah, bite him in
Got a
the
tail.
heel.
Meow. So I'm going to tail and wait for the opportunity.
All right. It sounds very much like an undecided kind of thing. Um, I am going to move back to the people that were in the closet. Drifter and Raindrop are being led down a small tunnel and to a strange place that opens up. You can see between the walls of the house now. You see strange metal pipes well above your head. You hear running water move through a few of them. You see debris littering this space between the worlds of the house. And the rats scurry off in front of you, leading you down this little rabbit hole they've taken you through. I should say rat hole. But after a few twists and turns, You find yourselves on the ground floor, emerging from another rat hole that was behind a couch, very near to where you had come in from the front door.
Hmm.
Around the time that you exit this hole, you see a cat leap down the stairwell with Maid in his jaws.
Ooh.
The cat,
How, as a Widdershin, I think we would know like how audible, or I mean how well do humans hear us when we're like, if I were to be calling out for help, would that be audible to humans or only to other Widdershin and like animals and stuff?
you
And for,
feel in.
go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay, for Widdershins, a lot of things is purpose and intent. You feel that if you shout out with the intent of letting people hear you, they'll hear you. But if you shout out with no intent of letting the people hear you, they may not hear you.
I would okay then I when the first cat grabs me and starts leaping down the hall, I would be calling out, trying to just let the other Widdershin know, um, help me, there's two cats.
Okay. You do get the feeling that the malicious animal with you in its jaws does hear you, though, and
Oh,
you almost feel like it's purring, like it's delighted that you are suffering.
that's yeah.
And
I was already assumed that it was delighted at my suffering.
and
Oh,
you
when
feel its sharp teeth kind of bite into the metal of your frame a little bit.
Oh,
You're too hard for him to do any real damage. You do take one stuff of damage though.
oh.
Kind of
So do I have an opportunity to
you
either
can
pop out a blade to stab it or
you can
to?
try to attack it or you can try to get free. If you try to attack it, it gets to hurt you. But if you try to get free, you don't hurt it, but you avoid damage.
I want to hurt it.
All right.
I'm here for this. I'm broken, baby. Let's go.
You're about to be broken too, right? That's how it goes. All right.
Exactly.
All right. So making an attack as you pop out one of your blades right into its mouth.
All right, baby.
Oh,
Ow.
Can I catch up with the cat?
You are stalking the cat, so you see what's happening here, and this would be a prime opportunity for you to assist.
you're like a little Dorito.
I'm going to walk
Can I-
right in front of the kitty and say,
Yeah.
put that down.
I rolled a 6.
All right.
Ooh.
All right. The
Yeah.
cat is extremely distracted by the other cat that suddenly jumps in front of it. It stares at you hatefully, Socks. It does not like the form you've chosen since you decided to look exactly. And Elgato seems to be offended. Or I should say Shadow, you know his real name. As he looks at you offended, distracted, he was starting to bite down, but all of a sudden you hear a little click inside of its mouth, and it goes "Meow!" and it drops Maid onto the floor. Maid, you hit it with a weapon that really should have done a lot of damage, but Lucky Cat managed to just ninja out of the way at the last possible second.
Yeah,
And
it's a one stuff weapon. This isn't one of my tokens. The blade's not a token.
well, it avoided any injury, so
Oh
it's
no.
kind of like it kind of turns and does like almost a half backflip and then runs up the stairs. So you have once again defeated Elgato. He is down to 7 lives.
Gato 0. Made 2.
He really doesn't like you.
Your group can see that everyone is present, though you do hear some loud sounds coming from the nearby area that you'd met Squeaker, and you can hear Raindrop. She's saying some very naughty words in there. There's some cursing in the bathroom.
And I would recognize from her voice that the second cat is in fact not a cat, but is actually Fox.
All right. So you do hear Sox's voice, and intuitively know that is a Widdershin when she speaks. Yes, you don't
I
know
would
how
have shot her next.
you don't know how she came to look like Elgato, but they're and as you muse about this fact, actually, she reverts to her real form.
Pong.
I'm gonna drive up and grab them and try to get somewhere out of sight.
All right. Drifter pulls up He says, "Hey guys, come on!
Come on in.
All right, you all jump into the back of Drifter. Where would you like to go?"
Do we want to go hang out in the rat hole for a moment while we gather our thoughts, or do we want to?
I think we need some gather our thoughts time because I don't have a very good feeling about what has
I
happened to
don't.
the child in this particular scenario.
I don't think she's here, and if she's not here, Anne's not going to be here.
But where is Anne?
Very quickly, I would say if we go to the bathroom, I'll lock the door forever.
No, I do have a question about my key though.
All right.
It says, I can create movement in items, like I can make a chair roll or this or this or this.
You have the car
No,
key.
I'm the car key.
Okay.
Did I-
Basically, what it's saying is if there's a mechanical toy, you could touch it and make it come active to do whatever it normally would do. So if it's a wind-up toy, like a wind-up jumping frog, then it would start jumping.
It said I could actually make an action figure move, just not with a lot of
If it
force
normally,
behind it.
yeah, if it normally has a mechanics that allows it to move, say like a kung fu action chop, he'll chop.
So it's actually got to have something that makes it move.
Yeah, he has to already have that present. You might make a radio start playing, or a car turn on.
You make all the hungry hippos go like this
Well,
towards the middle of the
like
board.
when it said I could make a chair roll across the room, I was thinking it's like, can I make
Yes,
a door?
I would say that would work because the mechanics of a wheel is to roll. So if you want to
Yeah.
make a chair roll across the room, by all means,
Yeah.
all means.
Not necessarily unlock it, but can I open and close doors that are unlocked in that way?
Unfortunately, you're walking into the realm of the padlock key. So I'm going to say, for some reason, doors are not affected by your key.
I was trying to work that angle.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to
You're
find what
lame,
Mike
Drifter.
does.
Get back.
Oh
know the
God,
house
that pun! Oh God.
That was a god tier pun right there.
I welcome them all. Puns are the highest form of intelligence.
Indeed.
All right. Anyway, so you guys are hiding somewhere? I heard someone say you want to get somewhere safe.
I was thinking we could go into the rat hole for just a few moments.
Okay, back
Can
in the
I
rat hole.
fit into a rat hole?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm in
So
there.
as we get into the bathroom,
Also, you're-
I'm going to jump off when we get into the bathroom, and I'm gonna go ahead and spend a point of stuff
We're
on
in
the
the rat
door
hole.
and let it lock. But the rat hole's inside the bathroom, right?
No, we went in through
Oh.
It is
No, it's
behind
over
the couch in the living room.
Behind the couch. That's right. I don't know why I thought it came out of the bathroom first.
To give your mind's eye view something to feast on. Just after you come in the front door, to the right would be the kitchen
Bathroom.
and also the bathroom straight ahead and the stairs beyond it. And to the left would be the living room, behind a couch of which is the rat hole.
Okay.
The cat is allowing those rats to live. I'm surprised.
It's not me.
I mean, have you seen that cat?
you're
I've
Don't be
defeated
so
it twice.
irresponsible.
You're not a cat. You've
You're a sock.
I know. I'm a.
If
I'm
you were a
talking
cat,
about
the rats would have definitely reacted when you came into the rat hole. But as it is,
Yes,
they
I
do
am
react.
one of plush
They back
box,
they
right.
back way up and they look at you guys, and there seem to be too many of you, and they both take off running.
Strength
Okay.
in numbers.
Yeah,
So
they-
what
they
have we
no longer
found?
even.
Well, I thought there were two cats for a little bit, and I'm really sorry, Socks. I was gonna shoot you. I'm really glad I didn't. I didn't know that you were a cat. Also, I thought you were just a fox, but it turns out you're a cat and a fox, and that's really cool. I just didn't know.
I'm not a cat. I just made
What?
myself look like one for a little bit because I thought I could rescue you all if I turned into a kitty. It was a disguise.
Oh. It worked really well. You was very convincing.
I
So
maybe should have modified it a little bit so that you wouldn't have thought I was the bad cat.
Okay.
Well, next time you'll know you can do it. I didn't know
Yeah,
you
I
could do
didn't
that.
find. I didn't find anything though. I just got under the bed and then we got caught and then I shot the lady and then we got the cat got me, but then I hit the cat as well and now we're here. I didn't see anything.
I'm worried that the doll and the
Thank you for helping us
girls
get
that we were
away from
looking for are not here anymore.
That's what the two rats said. That neither one are here anymore.
But why would the girl not be at the house this late? She should be at the house. Where's the girl?
There's a million reasons for that, and it has to do with the crying.
Look, that's a big number.
my ability to understand language. Author
You
I
sound
can't
like a
hear you.
teacher off of Charlie
Jason.
Brown.
Marley Brown teacher.
Yeah, you might want to wait a minute and then try again. I can't hear you.
Yeah, your video is frozen on my
Your
screen
video is
as well.
frozen for me as well. Yeah. In fact, you might want to log back off and then try logging back on and see if resetting it will help. As Socks speaks about the tears being the potential reason for the problem, all of you get an intuitive feeling that this is probably the right line of logic. And Socks, you remember the note, with the tears on it.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to talk about it too much. Just, I don't think the girl is here anymore.
Okay, how's that?
I hear you now.
Well, we can hear you.
Okay. Does does my ability to understand any human language also apply to reading?
Yes,
Okay.
Guess we're going back
So,
upstairs.
but at the same time, Fox does not know that I have that ability.
not yet.
Also,
I
the
don't.
Did
note
we
is in
find
the other
anything in the
room.
room?
Yes, Socks does know that you can understand them because while you were in the hall, mentioned that you were translating to Fox to Socks the Fox what the people were saying. So she's aware she doesn't understand them, but that
Okay.
you do. So then she could make the logic
Okay.
she
So
wants to.
there's a note. We could take the
Uh-huh.
back way up, the way the rats showed us, to get back upstairs. I wonder if there's another way into the. Do you think the rats could show us a way into the girls' room?
The rats are gone.
Can we find them?
You can look for them.
Because
Actually,
if they
how
can,
about it? Let me just go through the tunnels. I think I can find the way.
you think you can find a way through the little girls' room through these tunnels? Okay.
Yes, I spent a lot of time in the dark.
I would
I
go ahead and pull off my flashlight arm and say, "Here, take this. Definitely be," and turn on the light. Be able to see a little better.
one stuff for you for being useful, maid, and as an undersider, I do believe I'm not gonna make Socks make a chance roll. She's gonna kind of get the layout pretty easily. She's used to crawling around stuff like this, in the dark and through a twisting labyrinth of human-made things. And a few minutes later, she's found her way to the little girl's room. You know the room is on the other side of this wall, but the rats have only partially chewed open the hole.
Oh dear.
It's not large enough for any of you to get through. Maybe for one of the rats, if they have an affinity for squeezing through small spaces, which they do, but not for you.
You
Maybe
know how
Maid
to,
closed him all up and shoved him through, but that's about it.
can Maid not make the hole bigger with one of his tools?
That's what I was thinking.
I was going to offer both of those things for them to either go ahead, fold me up, slide me through, and let me go look around, or to try and make the hole bigger using like my knife.
Because he's pretty small.
You all hear thump, 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 thump. And you're aware that a set of people feet has moved into the room on the other side of the wall.
Hmm.
There's a few more steps and then quietude.
Is it the soup? Can we tell if it's the super heavy one or the woman's one?
That's
I
difficult to ascertain, but because, like I said before, you Withershin are kind of intuitive with things like this, you kind of feel like that's the mother. Um, Shortly after, you hear boom, 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 an even larger, heavier person moves to the room, and you hear them speaking back and forth through the wall. Once again, Raindrop, you can make it. You can make out what they're saying. The man speaks. You need to come lay down in our room, dear. Come on. No, I'm staying here. Come on, you're hurt, and just come lay down. They speak for a few more moments, and apparently he convinces her as he talks in quiet tones. And she goes with him, and the two thundering sounds of their footsteps recede across the hall into the room that you went in first. And then eventually quietude.
Before we have Maid go through the wall, can I use my button to see if I can see if the cat's there, just kind of like looking through the wall?
Does it see through walls? And I
Oh
tell
no,
you
there's a
what,
crack. You said there's a crack.
well, okay, well, you look through the crack, and I do believe that it has a one stuff expenditure for the use of that token. But
Mm-hmm.
you see very clearly in the room, and no challenge required. You see the cat. He is waiting.
Oh, okay.
He seems to have perched himself on a potted plant that is hanging from the ceiling just next to the closet. He is precarious in his position, and the only reason he could possibly be there is because he's stealthily waiting for Corey to come below him.
The cat's in here.
He is clever, Elgato.
We may
Gato the clever.
we may have to go through the closet in the other room, which has a bigger hole, and we can get out of it.
we still haven't solved the problem with a cat.
No, but we'll have more access to get him and more room to run away. I don't want to put Maid in there all by himself with the cat because we can't help him.
Agreed.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
But if we go through the closet, then we can all work together to defeat the cat and get the note.
There's got to be a way
Or
to get this note.
how far away from the closet, from the hole that we're in, from the hole is the desk? For example, would it be possible for Drifter to shoot his? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Would it be possible for Drifter to shoot his grappling string at the note and grab it?
Ooh.
Hmm.
A bit of a tall order, but he could potentially do it. It'd be a quite skillful little bit of rodeo.
I mean, we could all help him.
I mean,
Sure. Tell me what you want to try to do to help.
I would have to like shoot it, right? I mean, 'cause for him it just like unrolls and rolls. So we'd have to do the whole like unroll a bunch of it and me shoot the hook like we did at the bin.
Okay.
Now, we do have one other option.
You do?
Yeah. So there's well, actually two options. There's two. There's two of us here that cat really, really hates right now.
I'd say he hates me.
He hates you.
Oh, Gato the clever.
So
And I don't think he's entirely thrilled with me either.
Yeah, but I think he really hates you when you look like him. So as long as you don't look like him, so either if you can change back into another cat and then lead him away, or Maid can hop in my back, shoot the cat a time or two just for fun, and I lead him away with him in the back, and you two climb and get the ladder.
Well, we'll have to go through the closet to do that because we can't fit through this hole. So we'll have to go into the other room where the office is.
Well, you might have cut out before while it was happening, Kat, but somebody was suggesting cutting the hole bigger that you're in front of.
Okay, did we do
Let's
that?
cut the hole. Let's go ahead and cut the
Yeah.
hole bigger
We
because
were
I
speaking
I-
on it, so it probably
Okay.
So
Raindrop would
if
have heard that. So
if
Okay.
I cut the
Yeah.
hole large enough for us to fit through, will the cat also fit through?
no, because the largest of you, which is the RC truck, is still considerably smaller than the cat.
I
Okay.
do have one of my tokens. I do have the battering ram.
You
Yes,
have the battering ram?
you do. Would you like to use the ram on the wall?
Oh yes, I
boom,
would.
boom, boom.
So could I help him by first using my blade to kind of like just saw through it a little bit and like weaken it so that when he
You
batters
take all the
it
fun
falls
out of
open
it.
easier?
We'll call this an assist. So you were assisting him. You can either give him a +5, or with his teamwork advantage, you can increase his outcome. What would you like to do?
+5.
+5. And the little Lego block strapped to the front of your truck, it grants you a increase in your chance. So you were up one step, basically plus or sorry, it's +10, not up one step. +10 to your chance. So whatever your chance now is, +10 in your attempt.
I failed miserably, didn't I? Like
Did you?
a minute ago. No, I meant not right now. I meant earlier.
Oh, okay. You did fail before, yes.
Oh yeah. So that should put
So
me.
yay.
Okay.
Yay for failure.
No, it's a
Yeah,
positive.
that way.
Failure is amazing.
It's a yay.
All right, so I'm taking that as a success then.
No, I rolled an 88.
Oh,
But don't
okay.
you have a +10?
There's a loud boop as he slams into the torn hole in the wall, and a little bit of plaster falls, but it doesn't open up. And your front
Flying.
bumper, you take one stuff of damage as your bumper kind of gets dented a little bit. Oops.
Oh. Chip out some more.
Would you like to ram it again?
Since they bumped me up again.
Because that is the strategy. If ramming it once doesn't work, ramming it twice must. All right, let's see. All right, the cat is stirring in his perch. They heard the first little thump. It definitely hears this one as you go roaring through the hole, smashing it. For you guys, it's like an explosion of plaster and noise and rubble. For
Gotta say it.
people, it'd be like a tiny little, pitter patter of sawdust and
Gotta
stuff.
do it.
But for you guys, it's enormous and it's amazing. And there's plaster flying everywhere, and he's rip roaring through it. His wheels spinning in the air as he's flying through. His Lego block is triumphant, and as he gets through, you have limited time. El Gato has already noticed your presence from your first failed attempt, and he is starting to duck down a little bit. You get the feeling this is what he does right before he lunges. What would you like to do, Maid and Drifter?
Okay. As I bust through the wall, I gotta say it. Oh yeah.
I mean, if Drifter is busting through the wall, he's driving towards it. So I would imagine he's gonna drive through it. So at that point, I'm hopping in the cab as he makes the first ram, and then comes back and pauses between for the second one. I'm getting up in the cab so that the cat can't just easily snatch me out of the back.
All right. And are you going to fire at the cat?
I mean, I'm definitely gonna hang that arm out the window and fire at the cat.
All right. At the window, even.
Drive by.
All right. Did you turn it sideways too? All right. So as he's leaning out to shoot, you see almost in slow motion, Drifter is flying through the opening in the wall. The cat in the distance is starting to go down like a coiled spring. It's about to leap. maid is leaning out of the window with his crossbow ready to fire. And this is a great place to wrap up the session, everyone. Let's figure out what happens next time on
Come on.
I hope you all enjoyed the evening. I'm going to award each of you with 3 chance points. Good job, everyone.
All right.
Be allocated to increasing your chance by 1 point or spent as according to the rulebook on things like rituals. If anybody had any questions or observations that we should address now, go ahead and say it. Say your piece.
I
No?
forgot about my
We have
donut.
Forgot about your donut?
I forgot about my donut.
Oh,
That would have been perfect.
maybe next time.
we have
Maybe next.
definitely recorded this one.
Excellent.
Yay!
And so I will then, let's see. I think that is all. So I will bid adieu to the group. Next time when we start game, we'll be starting a new scene. So when we start off, we'll go ahead and the first thing we'll do is we'll roll our d10 for stuff and bring our chance up so that you're more likely to survive your latest confrontation with El Gato.
Well, that's good because I'm at a 20 right now.
And
So
I hope both of
also,
Tuesday at 7?
It's going to be next Tuesday, same time. And
Okay.
I hope to see everybody then. And thank you for playing. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
good night.